It's time for us to start talking about quality of service mechanisms with regard to how they're deployed in the unison with DMVPN. So what we're going to do is we're going to return to our topology and just illustrate the fact that per our connection, remember we still have this idea of a single DMVPN connection on R2 that's connected to both R4, R5, and R6. We are running in a phase 3 DMVPN. And now what I want to do is I want to instigate some level of quality of service. Now, the first thing that I want to be able to do is I'm going to say, well, I want to make certain that if I have a IP precedence value assigned to a packet, if that packet traverses my DMVPN tunnel, I want to make certain that it gets preserved, but I want to preserve it for the purposes of being able to manipulate it as I send it across my DMVPN. Now that means what I need to do is I need to be able to, before encapsulation, or excuse me, before encryption and before encapsulation, I need to take the inner tag or the inner precedence value, and I want to copy it to the outer header of the actual DMVPN packet itself. Now this is a super simple configuration command that we're going to do, and then what we'll do is we'll look at some more complex configurations, but all I'm going to do is on my tunnel interfaces, I'm going to say enter config T, interface tunnel 0. What I'm going to do quite simply is all I'm going to do is type IP NHRP sorry, not IP, it's just QoS Pre Classify. That's all that command does. It says take any precedence value or any type of quality of service marking and place it and copy it from the inside header to the outside VPN header. And then what we're going to do is we'll do that on all of our devices. So I'll do it on R4, QoS Pre Classify, QoS Pre Classify, now interface first, and lastly R6, interface tunnel 0, QoS Pre Classify. Now I'm going to take myself out of the equation here just for a little bit. The main thing that I want us to point out here or to understand is that when it comes to doing this, the whole idea is that all we're doing is copying that config. So let's see what we have in here. So let's go back over to the hub on R2, show interface tunnel 0. Now, notice right here, the queuing strategy is still FIFO. However, notice it tells me I have a QoS pre-classification. All that QoS pre-classification indicates is that I'm going to take that header or copy the QoS marking from the header that I'm encapsulating and encrypting, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it in the VPN header before I do encapsulation. Now the whole idea here is that gives me the capability of being able to preserve that information, because in our topology, our cloud, our DMVPN cloud, is relatively small. However, in a real topology or a real world topology, it could be quite huge. I'm seeing people using DMVPNs to be able to support things like ATM machines. I personally have seen tamper prevention or tamper monitoring for slot machines in a lot of casinos and off-site betting areas, whereby they have a IP address assigned and they have a single individual DMVPN connection going back to the headquarters office in order to be able to connect to the main infrastructure. And we're talking about DMVPN configurations with thousands of endpoints. So again, it's going to be very, very simple to recognize the command. Like I said, it's just one command. It takes longer to explain why it works than to actually show you how to do it. So how did I verify it? I just simply used the show interface command and looked at it, and we can see here it tells me we're doing pre-classification. Another area or another place I want to look at here is show DMVPN detail. Now we see our policy here. See, we got that protect GRE that we did in the last video lesson. And let's scroll down, And my whole beef here is that I don't know of a place that tells me that I'm actually pre-classifying. So show show in HRP. No, show IP in HRP. Yep, see, nothing, I don't know of any other place to know that I'm running pre-classification than to do the tunnel interface, show interface tunnel, or show run interface tunnel, 0, where we can see that we are QoS pre-classifying right here, or as I showed you earlier, the show interface or show run interface. Show interface tunnel 0 is going to give me the information about QoS. Where it says my queuing strategy is still FIFO, but I'm doing QoS pre-classification. So simple enough, you just simply enter that command on the hub and all of the spokes and you're good to go, golden. So with that said, I'm going to bow out and see you guys in the next video where we look at a more complicated configuration for doing quality of service application in the confines of the DMVPN. I'll see you guys in that video.